too close. Hello. This is Cheryl, Lentz, Independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, doing my follow-up Friday at 2:30. Yay! So on Tuesday, I showed a card that we had done with my Hostess Club people. Hello, Patty. And I had some people, hello, Terry. And I had some people, thank you, ladies, for joining me. I had some people comment on that particular card, which was a card that had a lot of pieces to it. And so I just wanted, and I think in the past I've talked about this stamp set, but I thought I would go over it again. And I have all the pieces cut. I'm going to show you a little bit on putting them together and how we grew the flower garden. So let me show you the card again. Here we go. This is the card. So all of those are cut out flowers. So that in itself was had a little bit of a labor intensive work. But I'm going to show you what I did with the stamp set and how I set it up when I initially played with it and how I had it set up for class. If you want to look, the stamp set is called All Things Fabulous. It is on page 121 of the annual catalog. There are 26 photopolymer stamps to this set. So, whew, that's a lot. And there's a wonderful die set. So it can be sold as a bundle, purchased as a bundle, which saves you 10%. And the nice thing is that the flowers on it, there's 3 larger flowers. They each have a die, of course. But then there's a bunch of little flowers. And each of the small flowers has 2 dies each. So when you're cutting out a bunch, it's really easy to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to turn the camera around. I'm going to show you how I have it set up. I'll stamp 1 or 3. I have one of each of the first 3 big flowers, and I'll just show you what I did. So here we go. Hello, Shelly. Welcome. All right, I'm going to turn the camera around. Here we go. I'm going to try to get it pretty close today so you can see. Look at my desk is a mess. It was horrible. I'm sorry for the wiggle around here. Okay, let's try to get this a little bit bigger. I love this stamp set. Come on. And, whoop. Well, come on now. Here we go. Ooh, now it's really big, really big. There we go. Okay, I think that'll be, will that be close enough? Can y'all see that well enough? I'm going to take my name right out of there. I want you to see what I'm doing. This is the stamp set, All Things Fabulous. So you can see how it's set up. They have these flowers, 3 steps, 3 steps, 3 steps for the 3 big flowers that are on there. And then they have these wonderful dies that cut out. So you can see the 3 big flowers have 1 die, but then each of the small flowers has 2 dies, which I love when they do that. Because when you're cutting out, you're doing multiples anyhow. So what I did on stamping, when I'm working with something like this, when you pull this out, they have numbers on here for each of the ones, so you know this is number 3, number 3, number 3, 3A, 3B, 3C. However, I usually start with this smaller one because generally that's the darkest one. So for me to line up, it just works out better. I have found it works out better personally for me to line it up that way. When they came into class, it's got a little bit of marks on it now. But this is what I had in class. So they knew for this flower, which block, what ink to use, and to stamp off or, you know, whatever. So, for instance, here's block number 1, flower number 1. So the 1 circled is the number of the flower. And then I have it, here we go. 1, here's the first one you're going to stamp. 2, second one you're going to stamp. 3. So I have it all set up that way. Even when I'm just playing myself, just because I think it's easier, okay? When you have that many stamps, 26 stamps out here, this is the way I organize it. So here, so I'll stamp this one. So number one, I used my two favorite colors here, Misty Moonlight and Seaside Spray. So I'm using my Misty Moonlight, the darker color generally I use first. I'm going to move that off to the side here. So I'll open up my Seaside Spray and have that off over here. So I'm starting with my number one block, Misty Moonlight. Ink that up really good. With it being photopolymer, you can tell. You can see it. And so my number two is Misty Moonlight also, but I stamped off. And then I'm going to line it up. So I see this big smile. I always called it the smile. Line up in the smile. You can hover over the top and you'll see it line up, and they're pretty forgiving. So if you're afraid of using these kind of three-step stamps, don't be. I mean, they really are easy and very forgiving to get it lined up here. And then here I'm using my Seaside Spray for the bigger one. And again, I'm lining up in that kind of smile area. Ta-da! Isn't that pretty? And then they have a die that cuts it out. So it makes it really easy to do the stamping. So again, here's my number two flower. So I have it set up, number two, circle, and here's first step, second step, third step. So first step is the darkest. So I'm just gonna do that one. And then step number two, I inked it up really good, stamped off, and then I hover over the top. And this one has kind of like a little eye. So I'm following that circle around to line up. I'm hovering over the top. Ta-da! And then the third stamp. Same thing. I'm kind of hovering around the center, and there's certain spots that you'll see when it lines up. It's just like, ta-da! Very forgiving. All right, and then my other one that I did, I'll do the smaller one too, just to show you, with my purple. So I used Highland Heather and Gorgeous Grape. So Gorgeous Grape is my center of the flower, of course, because I think it's easier to line up and see. So here's my third one, flower number three. It's circled, and step one, step two, step three. So step one, this nice dark, there we go. And then step two, I'm using the Highland Heather again, only I'm stamping off. And then I'm lining up all these little lines in the middle, line up so that you have a white space. Ta-da! And then number three, block number three for the third flower, I'm using Highland Heather. And again, I'm lining up those little white spots in the center of the flower. Ta-da! There we go. And when that'll lighten up when it dries. So you can do it that way, or you can do it stamp off. So it'd be one shade lighter. Here, I'll show you. Here we go. Here's one, here's two. Line up my little lines over the top. And here's three, if you wanted a little bit lighter. The stamps do have like a little point at the top. So that shows you, where the top of the stamp is. Ta-da! Then you see the shades a little bit more by stamping off. So play with it. There's a lot of different colors that you can do with this particular flowers, with these flowers that are so great. So I had all these flowers I did, and then we had to cut them all out, which was a lot of work. So here I have them all cut out. I'm going to bring my... So then you end up with all of these loose flowers, and what do you do with those? So to build my flower bed, this particular stamp set has this gorgeous lacy die cut. So that's where I started. I had that, and then the inside of the card has a pretty little flower in it too. So I let that as my background, and then I took my, let's see here, I need, can I get some dimensionals over here? I'm so sorry. What I did is I had all my, thank you so much. I had all of my flowers cut out and ready. And I started out, my first flower, I put over, and everyone is going to look a little bit different. But I took my first flower, and that's the background. Okay, anything in the front, you're going to pop up. The things in the background, you're going to just glue down. But I'm only putting the glue in the center. Because at this point, I'm not sure what I want to tuck some things under there or do something else. So I start out with my primary flowers. And now my next one I'm going to put up with a dimensional. And the dimensional is, again, just in the center of the flower. Pull the backing off. There we go. And I'm just kind of lining them up here wherever. Putting it at an angle. And then, let's see here. I'm going to have this. This is another one that matches up. Again, my dimensional just in the center. I'm going to move this flower over here, and then one more. So I'm kind of building my little base here to work with, and then all the little tiny flowers I can just kind of put through here and there. I'm going to sneak this one underneath there a little bit and having it going in this direction a little more. There we go. Ta-da! All right. Then I would start with the next biggest flower. So I would start with my purple ones just to add color in. And I know I wanted to put one over here. I just kind of snuck them in wherever. I go in that 3, you know, like kind of a try. There we go. We'll put one over here. They can all go in somewhere different. You're going to see a little bit of that lace shining through. And then I'm going to put some other ones in there. So I think on this one, I'm going to pop this one up too, because I'm going to sneak some little ones underneath. It's like, how do you build your flower garden? How do you build your vase of flowers? You know, you're kind of moving the colors around and looking at what looks nice together. There we go. And spreading it out. Spread the color out. So you have a point of color here and there. It draws your eye across the card. You know, instead of having it all bunched kind of together. There we go. And then this one we're going to sneak underneath. I'm just going to glue it down. But again, I'm just going to put the adhesive in the center. So if I want to move it, I want to slide something underneath there, I can. Okay, now, let's see here. We're going to go with this nice little bunch. So there is some green in here. You have some of the flowers that have stems on it. Make sure you can see my words there. How to build the flower bed. This was one of the questions, like where do you start? So just keep that in mind. You're always going to start with the background and work your way forward. If you put your adhesive just in the center, you can just keep moving those around to get some more color here and there in between. So I think we're going to go up here with this one. I'm going to sneak it underneath here a little bit. And it can overlap on my flowers. There we go. Let's do another little purple up on the top. They have these little tiny flowers. Some have 2 petals, some have 3. So I'm just pop that in there. I'm going to do a blue one down here. I think a purple one down here in the center. Let's get the bigger ones done. There we go. Oops. Okay. We have that kind of go around that, kind of framing in my words here. And then I'll put another little tiny one up on top. Whoops, I'm taking everything with me here. There. So every time you do this, it's going to look different. I mean, it's just the nature of it is that you have all these little tiny flowers and you're just tucking them in here and there, but it always looks pretty. They're all lovely. Let's see here. So this one I want to get underneath there. So I'm just going to pick it up with my pickup tool here. lift that up a little bit. If I bend it, there we go. There. I'm just going to put a little flower up there. Just want to spread those around. All my little colors. Here's this one. There we go. Press it down. I have 2 more left. It looks pretty full, doesn't it? It's getting nice and full. There we go. And I'm going to go down here. And to balance it off, I'll try to put one, I think, over here on the bottom. Ta-da! Okay. There. Ta-da, ta-da! All right. I built my bed, my flower garden here. And then I did, of course, you had to have some diamonds in here. So I have, where did I put them? Somewhere off to the side here. I put my little gems. I used the gilded gems here. Just, oops, well, that one's not gonna work. It went right into the garbage. Okay, we'll get another one out. Here we go. My little packet of goodies. Here's a smaller one. Okay. All right, let's pick it up with my pickup tool. And put some diamonds in here. I put one over here, make it brighter. I'm going to use the blue. Let's see here. This one can go over here. Let's put one up here. And we'll put one more. We'll form a, put one more. Where should we put it? Down here somewhere. I'm going to put it right here. There we go. Ta-da! So again, I'm kind of going in a triangle. There we go. So, ta-da! That's it. That's how you build your flower bed. But if you, using this stamp set, see how they're all different. I have another one over here. Each one is completely different. But that's okay. They're all pretty. Ta-da, ta-da. Each one is a little off, however you put your flowers in. So that's it. That was my tip for today. How to build a flower garden. What do you think? Easy. Try marking your blocks. Easy way to make your flowers, and see how this one lightened up. When the ink is wet, they look darker. So just remember that. Let it lighten up. But test out the different colors and see what you like best. I did some with Melon Mambo and Poppy Parade and used a bunch of different colors. But on this one I went with all the blues and the purples because I thought it was so pretty. So that's it. Time for a fish fry, you guys. We're getting ready here because we're having bingo tonight. I'm going to turn the camera around. Hello, Linda. Hello, Vera. Here we go. Let's do that. We have bingo starting at 6 p.m. tonight. We're going to do three games of bingo, 3 cards. We have lots of prizes and fun things that are going to go on. We're doing cards from the holiday catalog. So Christmas card, a fall card, and a Halloween card. So hitting them all one night. It's going to be a lot of fun. So for those of you joining me, we're getting ready right now. And otherwise, y'all have a great weekend. Take care, be kind. Go out for a fish fry tonight. And we will see you for talking on Tuesday at 2. Thank you. Bye-bye.